In order to add and subtract fractions with uncommon denominators, there are four things we need to remember. First, we need to find a common denominator, and there are two ways we can do that. We can either multiply the denominators together, or we can list the multiples and find the lowest common denominator. The second thing we need to remember is whatever we do to the denominator, we must also do to the numerator. Then, we need to add and subtract the numerators. And finally, we need to reduce that fraction to its simplest form. The problem we'll look at today is 1 over 10 plus 2 over 5. So the first step is we need to find a common denominator. And as mentioned, we can either multiply the denominators together, which would give us a denominator of 50, or we can list the multiples and find the lowest common denominator. Personally, I like to find the lowest common denominator as it makes the fraction a little bit easier to work with. So let's do that. So for 10, the multiples are 10, 20, 30, 40. And for 5, we get 5, 10, 15, 20. Right away, you can see that 10 is a common multiple. So we'll use 10 as our denominator. So for our first fraction, 1 over 10, we don't need to do anything because the denominator already is 10. But for the second fraction, 2 over 5, we need to make that denominator 10. And in order to make 5 10, we need to multiply it by 2. But remember, whatever we do to the denominator, we must do to the numerator. So we'll multiply 5 by 2 to get 10, and we'll multiply 2 by 2 to get 4. Now we have 1 over 10 plus 4 over 10. And now it's just simple addition. So 1 plus 4 equals 5, so we get a fraction of 5 over 10. Now we're not done yet. We need to make sure we simplify that fraction. And in order to do that, we need to find the greatest common factor between 5 and 10. In this case, 5 is a common factor, and so 5 divided by 5 equals 1, and 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So our final solution is 1 over 2, or 1/2.